Maybe it's 'cause we're young, got time and we're wasted, got no plans for the night. I love how you look at me, feeling like nothing to lose. Can we say it tonight? 'Cause I don't wanna go. I know the tension's gone now, and that you won't stay here. Keep looking back, don't wanna forget you. Yeah, I wanna do it all again, so I keep pushing rewind, hoping you'll still by my side. We can't get lost in time. Oh, don't you wanna do it all again? Stuck on repeat in my mind, dancing with you by my side. We can't get lost in time. Yeah, I wanna do it all again. We were on top of the world, had time that we wasted. We were young and so dumb. I knew that you were the one, played our songs all the time. Can we say it tonight? 'Cause I don't wanna go. I know the tension's gone now, and that you won't.
Somebody once asked me, how do I come up with topics to talk about in my videos? And I basically responded that I just get the ideas based on whatever I am struggling with that week, or something that I've seen that has been incredibly inspiring for me that I know will be helpful for others. So in this week in particular, and in this video, burnout has been a real struggle for me, as well as just managing the mess. So later on, I will talk a little bit about avoiding burnout. But for now, I do have a whole house to clean, just about. I think I go through almost every room except some of the bathrooms. And I do this over like a 4-day period. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Michelle. I say this all the time, I'm a totally regular mom who has 2 toddler daughters. So of course my house is a little bit messier. It gets messy really fast, more than usual just because of that. But I really try and keep up as much as possible. And obviously I'm here to help motivate all of you guys. So let's go ahead and manage this mess and get started.
Pushing the past again, no. You know my little triggers keep on triggering them all. I've had enough of this, oh. Our timeline's getting worn out when we're going back and forth. You know we're only pretending, we're only weak and lonely.
So I just thought about this whenever I was unloading the dishwasher. I used to like get 1 cup out at a time and then go put it in the cabinet and then come back and get another item and then put that back in that exact spot. And then recently I started taking everything out and putting it on the counter and then grouping things together and taking them to a cabinet. And then I started wondering, what do other people do? Do they just like pull it out, take it straight to the drawer or cabinet? Or do you kind of like take it all out, put it on the counter, organize it, and then take it back to the cabinet? So I don't know if that made sense, but just leave me a comment below. Let me know how you unload the dishwasher.
Why can't we face it? Keep on paper chasing all these made up reasons. You're the only one for me. My heart is twisted. Keep on paper chasing, acting pretty small when we are growing out of love. Growing out of growing out of love.
So as I'm just cleaning up a little bit around the kitchen and getting everything picked up and all of the dishes finally done, I realized like Christmas is literally just around the corner. And then I think, like, where has this year gone? I remember just wishing 2020 was over, and now it's like, I can't believe 2021. There's only 2 months left. I hope that in the last 18 months or so throughout 2020, when we all had to basically be at home, I really hope that you were able to take the opportunity and, do a home project or, try a new hobby or do something completely different. I know that it was super, super tough on so many people. And even if this year has just continued to be really rough and tough on you, then I want you to kind of use this opportunity to make that decision and make today be the day that you completely turn it around. Over the past several months, I've received so many messages and comments and emails of people who are just struggling. They're, you might be in a really difficult place. You are having some disabilities, you're not able to get, as much done. You may watch a cleaning video like the one I'm doing right now and just think, man, I there's no way I could get that much done. But you don't have to, right? The whole goal is just to get one step further than you were the day before. So if you've been struggling throughout this entire year, then there is still time left to take the next step and turn these last couple of months in 2021 and really make the most of it. Now, you'll probably see in the next couple of weeks tons of Christmas clean and decorate videos coming out, which personally are my favorite, but I know that Christmas time can be a little bit rough on some people. And I know it's really cliche to say, oh, Christmas is not all about the gift giving and the money, but it really isn't. If you only make it about the money and things that you can't afford to buy for other people, then it will never be special. My favorite thing about Christmas is the Christmas lights, just walking through the neighborhood and looking at Christmas lights. Also, just hosting and having our whole family over is so exciting for me, and just being able to spend time in general with family. So leave me a comment down below. Let me know your favorite thing about Christmas. All right, so I am so behind on laundry. Give me a shout out down below if you're behind too. So basically, while the girls take their bath in our bathtub, I can see them directly from our bedroom, is when I try to go really, really fast and fold as much laundry as possible. I typically don't have like 3 or 4 loads to do, but even once I'm done folding this, I still have a whole bunch of towels that are sitting in the dryer. And the laundry just piles up because I feel like every single person in our house wears at least 2 or 3 outfits a day, whether it is my girls wearing their pajamas, their dresses, or whatever mess they made on their dress and have to change, or whether it's me in my pajamas and then I change to workout clothes and I change to lounge clothes, and then my husband from work clothes to, you get what I mean, right? Do you guys do that too? I just feel like there is so much laundry to do all the time. But about a year ago, when I started watching like videos like this where people would organize and clean their house, I started watching a lot of the KonMari folding, and I just never thought that I could ever fold or keep up with the folds doing KonMari, especially with the girls' clothes. And I, decided to try it out one time, and I was like, I'll try it initially, and if I can't keep up with the way that the clothes are folded, then I'm just going to go back to my regular, fold in half style. Well, I am so glad that I did not go back to the other style, because I promise you, folding the KonMari style is so easy. Once you get it down right, then you can do it in just like a few seconds. It doesn't really take that much longer to do, and it is so easy to see all of the clothes in the drawer. And I also just recently started rolling the towels instead of like folding them in 3, and I am a little bit okay with that. I think that it looks better in the drawer, but I could probably see myself eventually not rolling them and going back to the folding method, but I think that they just look nicer in the cabinet when they're rolled. And I'm referring to the bigger towels, not these smaller dish towels. So typically, it's been a long time since I've mentioned that. Chris used to do his own laundry, or he still does. And somebody kind of got mad at me for, making my husband do his own laundry. But that kind of goes back to last week's video where I talked about like relationships and like making it work for whatever household you have. And I said that a long time ago that Chris just does his own laundry. I do all my clothes, all the girls' clothes, all the towels, all of everything. And typically I just ask him, hey, can you fold your own clothes? I'm doing other things, and he does. But this time I just did it for him so I could just get all of the laundry done. And of course my girls like to splash all of the walls during the bath time. And now I'm moving on to the next day, which is where I get a majority of the cleaning done.
If you like what you see, come and get it with me. I know you deserve all you want, 'cause your heart's made of gold. But don't wait till you're old. If you want it, I get you some. Feel your body losing up the tension. Baby, did I mention I'll be here for you? And my body show you new dimensions. Baby, did I mention this is what I do? Let it go, lose control like you're on a ride. Let me free your mind, let me free your mind. Give it up, never stop, don't be scared of heights. Let me free your mind.
So I don't know about anyone else, but this is such a pet peeve of mine, eating in bed, and I reach over and there's like crackers in this cup, which I'm sure that Chris gave to Sailor while she was watching TV in here one time, because I was like, why is there crumbs all over the bed? And that explains it.
If you like what you see, come and get it with me. I know you deserve all you want, 'cause your heart's made of gold. But don't wait till you're old. If you want it, I get you some. Feel your body losing up the tension. Baby, did I
If you are new here, some of the projects that I recently did is we kind of just made over our whole master bedroom, and we've added like this panel walling on the ceiling. And then I also just recently reorganized our entire bathroom. And then earlier this year, I reorganized our whole kitchen. So I like to say that I'm not an expert organizer or anything like that, because basically what happens is I will, watch a video similar to this and get really inspired by other people and, think, well, if they can do it, then so can I. So I'll kind of create a plan of some sort and figure out how, based on the space that I have, how can I make this function the absolute best? When I get too caught up in like the home edit and everything, all those perfect organizing TV shows and want everything to be so aesthetically perfect, then I don't get anything done. So I just focus on, okay, how do I want this to function? What do I need to keep? What do I use? And what are some of the best bins at a good price that I can use to make it work in my space? So my tip for getting started is just go for it.
If you were mine, I've been walking with my shades on for so long. I can't seem to get them back on. 'Cause ooh, how I fell in love. Couldn't see it coming, blasting my stick.
Okay, so please tell me that it's totally normal to find a random eyelash on the floor.
All I'm hearing is a song.
So leave me a comment below. What is your favorite laundry detergent? I have recently been using the Method, and I really, really like that one. I also use Shout color catcher sheets so that if you are like mixing colors together, then the colors won't bleed onto like the lighter colors. And then for the dryer, I've been using the Method dryer sheets, or I use the wool dryer balls. Basically, those just help with drying the clothes so that like clothes don't get caught into each other. And sometimes I'll put a little bit of essential oil on it just to give it a good smell. So any other suggestions on like must-have laundry products, then leave me a comment down below. And again, I'm doing laundry for days. So I hope that you guys are getting some laundry done while you're watching this video. So this is actually an abandoned area, as you can tell, that's in our dining room. So I've talked a little bit about how I kind of work in our dining room, because the office area that that was another project we did during 2020, but it just kind of like accumulated with so much stuff. So that room is going to be a project in itself. So in the dining room, we have, that little thing, we have our dining table. We redid our dining room wall. So I do have a makeover video that shows kind of how we did that. And then we have just this little toy kitchen area. And kind of an exciting thing is that I'm actually going to be decorating the dining room for Christmas, which I never have before because we don't eat in the dining room. I wish we utilized that space a little bit better than it becoming like my home office. But the window looks out into the front yard. So I've always wanted to, like when you drive by houses and then they have their blinds open and you see the big Christmas tree through the window. I've always wanted that. So this year, I've mentioned before, I have so many Christmas trees that I'm decorating with. And one of our Christmas trees is going to be in the dining room looking outside. So if you're not already subscribed, then I encourage you to hit that subscribe button, because in the next couple of weeks, I'll be coming out with tons of Christmas decor videos. And not only am I going to be decorating my home, but my mom and stepdad have opened up their home for me to decorate as well. Their home is absolutely beautiful. So it's going to be two totally different styles, but you will get great ideas.
Look to the left, look to the right. Nothing can stop me in the night, like I'm leaving all the bad stuff and trying to remain so strong. I know it's good if I'm alone. I got it, I gotta go, running to better times. Go, from my emotions. I'll go, running to better times, to better times, to better times.
My daughter Sailor just had her 4th birthday, and what I plan on doing here is going through a lot of the toys and either putting them in a pile and donating them, or just kind of reorganizing them in the right bin. So I definitely did not do like a mass declutter or anything like that. I just kind of getting rid of a few things that I see that they don't play with, or basically putting it into a pile for donation, or if it's broken or something like that. If there's random crayons on the floor, then I put that in the trash pile. I think I finally figured out what works for me is just doing things little by little instead of doing like a mass project and like getting rid of half of the stuff. I feel like it's just more comforting just to like do a little bit at a time here and there. And I know a lot of people don't agree with that. They like everything to be gone and decluttered all in one setting. But I think that just doing a little bit at a time, getting rid of things here and there is just what works better for me.
You hear them calling, shouting your name. Turn up the collar and walk away. Feels like you're falling, now who is to blame? only you could see. Don't you know that you're beautiful, just the way you are, just the way you came. Don't you know that you're beautiful, no matter what the scars, no matter what they say, and we'll shout it out louder.
So there's been a lot going on this week, and maybe you guys kind of feel the same way. For me personally, I have had some successes and I've had some fails. I've been, going back and forth on my head about a lot of things, and then there's been a lot of burnout. Burnout is basically just tired of doing something that you've been doing over and over, whether you're just not motivated to do it anymore or you're starting something new that's challenging and you just feel like it's not working. So you just kind of want to stop completely. Whenever I feel like I'm doing the same thing over and over again and kind of getting burnt out doing it, then what I like to do is challenge myself to do something a little bit harder than what I'm doing, or even a little bit different. So for example, whenever I'm just super burnt out on cleaning, I don't love cleaning, but I don't hate cleaning. I know a lot of people love to absolutely do cleaning, but it's easy for me to get super burnt out because I just feel like there's a mess nonstop all the time. But kind of when I started this journey, I was like, how can I really make cleaning interesting? And how can I make it to where it's not something I dread absolutely every single day? And there's a couple things that I did, right? I started a YouTube channel, obviously, but I also started trying new products. I started trying new things so that the next time that I went to do that task, I wanted to see if it would make a difference or if it would be a little bit better. Or challenge myself to, start a new project, challenge myself to organize for the very first time. And it's just made a huge, huge difference in the last year. The next tip is a little bit obvious. If you're super burnt out on something, then just take a break from it. I know that it's hard, especially for like us moms, especially with toddlers and kids and everything that make giant messes, to say, I can't just stop cleaning or I can't just stop doing laundry, but you absolutely can. And I don't mean forever. I just mean like if you're not up to it that day, then don't do it that day. Somebody asked me about like a cleaning routine I had and how I kept up with everything. And the truth is that I don't. I pick 2 to 4 maybe days a week where I kind of just focus on an area. Like one day this week, all I did was fold my clothes while my kids were taking a bath. So, you don't have to like get everything done all the time, especially if you are just dreading it and it's stressing you out. And another kind of obvious thing is that, if you're totally not motivated to do something, then what I like to do is educate myself. How can I make it better? How can I improve that? Or just finding the motivation from someone else who's already motivated to do it. So if you are here watching for the motivation to help you get up and do something, then you're already one step in the right direction, because there's so many people who don't want to do anything about the situation when they're feeling down and defeated. But if you're here for that to, get the help or get the ideas, then you are already on the right track. And if it's something new that you are trying for the first time and it's just not going your way and it's not working and you feel defeated, my number one tip is do not quit. Every single opportunity is a learning opportunity. There is no such thing as failing unless you quit. So take every experience you have as a learning opportunity and make the best of it. So I've got mostly everything picked up upstairs. I think I was able to do like my mini declutter was about 2 bags of things that I'm taking over to donate a lot of stuffed animals and some of the toys that they no longer play with. The vacuum that I typically use upstairs, this is not a cordless vacuum. This is like a really old Shark vacuum that I probably got. It's probably almost 7 or 8 years old, but it's really powerful. And I think I had gotten it at Costco for $99. I have seen a vacuum that is pretty similar. It's the newer version of that. I think I've seen it on Amazon for about under $100, and I really like that on carpet. For the cordless vacuums that I have 2. I have the Tinco and I have the Dyson V7, I believe it is. And I typically use those on the hardwood floors downstairs. I'd like the cordless on that or on rugs.
It's 1 a.m. and I ain't tired. I can stand right here and talk all night if you want. I ain't got no place to be, no one's waiting for me. I won't lie, I'm into you. Got like a million ideas what we could do. Cause I'm not gonna let you slip away, I won't waste this. There's something about the way you fix your eyes on me. I can't help myself, fall in love, I go crazy. What you wanna do now? Should we head back to my place?
The next thing I'm doing is going to take care of the downstairs floors. So I typically use the Tinco One S5 Pro. I have 2 of them. I purchased one of them on my own, and then Tinco had sent me the latest model to try out, and both of them are amazing. I highly recommend it. What it is, it's a cordless vacuum and mop in one. Typically called a wet vacuum. The difference in the 2 is that they both do an absolutely amazing job. I recommend both of them. The S5 Pro, so the one that I'm using now, it auto adjusts the suction based on how dirty the mess is on the floor. So there's a little monitor there that goes to red whenever it's kind of picking up a really dirty spot, and then it will turn green whenever that spot is cleaned. I like wet vacs in particular because it cuts down the time that you have to clean the floor. So instead of having to sweep or use a cordless vacuum on the hardwood floors, then I typically will just pull this out and then it will vacuum and mop all in one. One of the other vacuums is the Basil Crossweave, which is also a wet vac that I've heard a lot about. I have not tried it personally, but I actually did research, and there's a channel called Vacuum Wars, and they did a comparison between Tinco and the Basil Crossweave wet vac, and they actually recommended Tinco over the 2. But again, I have not tried that one personally, but I do recommend the Tinco.
Got me up all night, putting things on the side. What do you have in mind? She's awake all the time. What are you trying to find? I hope this ain't a lie. Cause I'm vibing with all we have. Yeah, I'm feeling what we are now. I'm laying down on the ground. All I do is thinking out loud. Yeah, I'm vibing with all we have. I'm feeling what we are now. All I do is thinking out loud. Cause I'm running with these emotions.
So after the self-clean cycle runs, then basically it pulls everything into that little canister, and then I will throw away all of the debris and then dump out all of the dirty water. But by special request, some of you guys have asked about, I think a few weeks ago I did a grocery haul, and some people asked about healthy, like low carb meals. So I'm going to share with you something that I eat all the time. It's super easy. These are like little mini mushroom pizzas. And then for the girls who are not super crazy about mushrooms, I will basically make the same thing but put it on a little bagel. So I will share the recipe down below, but basically what I'm doing is I'm getting the 4 really large portobello mushrooms, and then I'm cutting out the middle part of it, and then from those pieces you're going to cut those into smaller pieces because you're going to use the actual stems of the mushroom, and you're going to put those into the pan with the onions.
All I do is thinking out loud. Yeah, I'm vibing with all we have. I'm feeling what we are now. All I do.
So those are all the little mushroom stems. So I already have a pan with a little bit of olive oil, some onions, and then I'm just mixing in those cut up mushroom stems. So after those are kind of browned for a minute, I know that looks funny, but I'm just going to add in some ground sausage. This is the mild sausage, not the spicy ground sausage, just because for the girls, they don't like it super spicy, but then, you know, just brown the meat. And then next you're just going to add in some spices. I'm just using basil, oregano, and thyme, and then kind of mixing everything up. And then next I'll add in the tomato sauce. You can use whichever one that you like the best. I just picked this one up at our local grocery store. And then once the meat's brown, I basically just add everything in and mix it together. So I've mentioned before that I like lower carb meals. It just kind of works better for me, and also something that's super easy to make because, you know, you don't have a lot of time in the evenings. But once I get the mixture, I put it into the portobello mushroom, so it's like your own little personal pizza. And then I also grabbed those bagels. So those are like the 100-calorie bagels that I plan to put on and then give that to the girls. So you can think of it as for them as like little mini bagel bites. And then the last thing I'll do is just add a little bit of mozzarella cheese at the top and then pop it into the oven. So set your oven to 350 and pop it in for like 10 minutes or so. So if you do decide to try it, then let me know how it turned out. Let me know if you liked it. And like I said, it is one of our easy go-to meals. But if you did enjoy this video and get some type of motivation out of it, then I really hope that you join our community here, subscribe to my channel, and make sure you hit that like button if you enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys next week.